Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Welcome back. And if you are new, thanks so much for checking out my channel. Please hit subscribe and stick around. Today I'm going to do another pairing video. And this time this is a non-fiction and fiction pairing about grief. November is a month where we tend to remember those who have gone before us. We have All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Remembrance Day. So I just thought that maybe talking about two books about grief would be appropriate at this time of year. So I realize this is not the most uplifting topic, but I think it's an important topic, and I think when people are in it, when they're experiencing grief, it can be really hard to put words around that feeling. And sometimes other people's experiences or words can be helpful. And I have appreciated when grief is written about really well in stories. And both of these books are really quick reads. The nonfiction book is only 80 pages, and the fiction book is, I think, about 120 pages. So technically, you could read them both in one sitting if you wanted to, but that would be a lot of grief reading. So I'm going to start with the nonfiction book. Which I literally bought and then sat on a bench in the mall and read the entire book. So the nonfiction book that I chose is the memoir Notes on Grief by Chimamanda Ngozie Adichie. And I've read a few of Adichie's books, most of them nonfiction, and I've only read one of her fiction books so far. This nonfiction is a really personal one. Grief is tough at any time. It's never easy. And during the COVID pandemic, when people were in lockdown, it was difficult in many other ways. And in this memoir, Chimamanda writes about her father, about his death, and how she and her family grieved during the pandemic. I love Adichie's writing, especially in her shorter books like this and in her nonfiction. Somehow, Adichie manages to say things in profound ways with only a few words or a few sentences. She has just such a unique use of language, and in this book especially, when she talks about grief, it can be heart-wrenching. She describes the immense feelings that she experienced, and she does it in a very honest and raw way. Now, this book, in comparison to the next book, is pretty straightforward. It's someone's experience, and it's, I think, well worth a read. The topic is a hard one, but the writing is beautiful. Now, the fiction book that I chose to pair with this one also has beautiful writing, but it's more unusual. And this is Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. The title itself is a play on words from the Emily Dickinson poem, Hope is the Thing with Feathers. The story is written sort of in verse. In this story, a man is grieving for his wife, and his two sons are grieving for their mother. The symbolism is quite interesting in this. The father is a huge Ted Hughes fan. He's a scholar. And Ted Hughes, being the writer, poet, and husband of Sylvia Plath, Ted Hughes wrote Crow between 1966 and 1969. So this is a few years after the death of Sylvia Plath. And this is one of his most controversial writing. So the crow is used in a mythical way. And in Grief is the Thing with Feathers, the narration alternates between the father, the sons, and Crow. And Crow, in this case, enters their lives and offers wisdom and comfort in the family's darkest time. So like Notes on Grief, what is most astonishing to me is the writing. There are beautiful lines throughout the book that really capture emotion and grief and hope in our human experiences. And I thought that this was such a unique way to tell a story. And it is so respectful of the need to grieve and the process of grieving. So I can see that this one might not be for everyone. I think to read this, there needs to be an openness in the way that the story is presented and told. But if you can appreciate that, then I think that this is a great book. So these are two books on my shelves about grief, which again, it's a difficult topic to capture. They're quick reads that I think really pack a punch in unique ways. They both have beautiful and different styles of writing, and I think that if you are looking for a nonfiction and a fiction book to pair together on this topic, these might work for you. So please let me know if you have read either of these books, or if you know of a book or two on grief that you would recommend. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.